Okay, it's working. Again, Microsoft updating Windows resets everything. Ciao nice people! Welcome to this new stream of Katawa Shoujo. After some time, really, we waited 2 weeks for this. We skipped the previous one. So yeah, it's half a month. But it's fine. And hello Zoro. Non vedo l'ora. The joke only works in Italian. I see. I see. I see what you did. So, I'm not starting with the right mood from the stream of yesterday for, well, not for the games themselves. I hope this game now will help him a little, because I was waiting for playing this game, but I hope I can enter into the mood by starting with this. I will see, I will see. See. So, last time we interrupted with the new chapter. We returned from vacation, and now we are at school. In the chapter called, I forgot, Future, which is, well, definitely the last episode. Now they should be in a relationship. We'll see how it goes. After the excitement of our trip to Hokkaido, it seems strange to be right back to the usual daily routine so soon. Indeed, it feels like a normal day, the same as any other. Well, that's what I'd like to think anyway. To tell the truth, the atmosphere of the entire class, no, the entire school has changed. While an undercurrent of subdued trepidation has previously pervaded the class, now that exams are in sight, it's boiled over into frantic studying rarely seen otherwise. The classic, right? You only study when the exam is approaching. I know it's not a healthy habit, but that's how I do. And I don't care, honestly. One day until the exam starts. It's horrific, really, but that instead of studying we went and wasted our time up north. We were such modest students, too. Misha! Glancing around the class, even the bubbly, ever-energetic Misha seemed only deflated. She sits at her desk, nervously chewing a pen while Mutu lectures from the front of the class. Wait, on closer inspection I do believe she's eating it! Turning my eyes from the sorry spectacle, I turn my attention elsewhere. Hanako sits frantically scribbling in a notebook, her face mere inches away from the page, seemingly trying to record every word that leaves Muto's mouth. And now the full, how it's called, the gang of the discipline committee. No, wait, that's not. It was a different name. Oh well. Appena arrabbiata. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Angry Pants. No, Angry Pants sounds more like a name of a mobile game, for, well, reasons. Shizune is, well, Shizune, cool as a cucumber. Cucumbers are cool? I guess so. She sits diligently, taking notes with her attention wholly focused on the front of the class. Truth to be told, it's what I should be doing as well, if not for the fact that I feel like I have a pretty good handle on what's being covered already. I wonder how Lilly is going. She does have a good head on her. She has plenty on her plate, unlike me. Her class representative duties, taking care of Hanako, her other social contacts, her extra English studies. That girl really does take on a lot. You slumber a cucumber. I still don't get why a cucumber should be cool. The lunchtime bell brings a sigh of relief from the entire class. Mutu begins no exception. No, Bing. I get a feeling he much prefers the more laid-back atmosphere of his normal classes to the frantic pace of exam preparation we're subjecting to right now. Cause cucumbers are 90% water and they are refreshing to eat. Ah, cool in that way. So not like a cool person, like more like something that's not hot. It's more cool. Okay. Something that, yeah, I get it. Hichan! Help me! What's the matter, Misha? I lowered my elites to half-mast. Half-mast. Well, half-openness, but... Let's see. Mast is the structure of a ship or boat. Yeah, okay. Like, a post on land, a flagpole, or television or radio transmitter. Okay, yeah, something probably clearly used as a metaphor, or can be used since the similitude of hiring a flag midway. Okay, interesting. Here. Making clear my intention of doing quite the opposite. Help me! Not going well. Shi-chan is going to be fine, but I think I might die. Am I going to die, Ichan? Will you let me die from all this work? How maudlin. Oh, this one is new as well. Maudlin. Self-pityingly or tearfully sentimental. Okay. Melenso, maybe? No, in a sad way. Highly sentimental, okay. Let's save this one as well. Given that she's neither the brightest student in the class nor the most diligent, it isn't a great surprise that she's finding it hard to cope with the workload. Sorry, Misha, but I've got my own work to do. I thought you and Shizune would be studying together over the long weekend anyway. Studying's too boring to waste a holiday on, Hichan. Shopping together was much more fun, wasn't it, Shichan? It's only now that I realize Shizune has been looking over to us, and that Misha's arms have been moving likely all this time. I must be really zoomed out to not have noticed. Shizune approaches. No, she's already in. What is it with girls and shopping anyway? Even Lilly and Danako have dragged me all out with them a couple of times. You're asking the real questions, but we will never have the answer. But you went anyway? It's rare to see a guy that likes going shopping. Yeah, because it's boring. Well, my role would probably be best described as pack mule. I can't say I share your enthusiasm. Back to the exams. You studied after you got back from the day off, didn't you, Shizune? Of course, Ichan. It's only sensible to study in the days before. Aww. Misha making a sound vaguely similar to a dying cow as she realizes her fully and unceremoniously flops onto her desk, betrayed even by her best friend. Judging from Shizune's quite frustrated look at Misha, she probably told her to study as she did. Don't worry, you can still gain some grades if you start studying now. Muto's going to bombard them with choke in the second round. I think the lesson is over. I'm pretty sure the bell rang. Misha does not seem overly amused. It seems the bubbly balloon of everlasting cheerfulness has been clearly popped. Shizune signing goes unnoticed by the mopping Misha, earning her a quick poke in the shoulder. It takes barely a moment for Misha to get back into form. So what did you do over the weekend, Hichan? Sex! I'm sorry. Well, we have 18 plus streaming, so I can say those 3 letters, right? Just took a trip up north with Lilly and Hanako. It was pretty nice. I see both of them narrowing their eyes at me, their minds surely in the gutter. The fact that their suspicions are founded makes the situation all the more awkward. Yeah, their face just says, you cannot go there and just go on vacation, right? Together with girls. We just studied and went sightseeing. There's nothing more to it. After such a flagrant lie, I realized that it might not have been the best step, considering Shizune's connection to her total lack of restraint when it comes to questioning someone she suspects of telling untruths. Oh, I don't often hear the word untruth. I almost forgot it existed. I really have no idea how she's going to take it, but she'll find out eventually anyway. It isn't as if it's really her business whom I date in any case. Yeah, Lilly and I are going out now. While Misha receives the news with an enthusiastic smile, Shizune gives a look of mild surprise, somewhat masked by her cool demeanor. Cool as a cucumber, huh? Whoever you date is your business. I hope you two go well together. Misha gives a look that says the most quarter I could possibly receive on the matter. A quarter. 4 quarter makes a unit, but... Quarter off. It's... not 50 minutes before, no. Ah, no, wait, no. Ah, to relent. Wait, what's relent? Abandon or mitigate severe harsh attitude. Ah, to become less intense. Oh. Okay, so... Give them no quarter. Ah yeah, I heard it. I never stopped pondering on it. I thought a quarter was give them no quarter, just like don't give them any time to rebuild the defenses. Don't spare any time to fight them. I don't know, something to say to not leave them with open possibility to react. I never thought what it meant, actually. Okay, let me save all of these. Yeah. That's a wide screenshot. Okay. So... most quarter... I still don't get it. Like... it's... yeah. So... it's... the most pity I can receive on the matter, maybe. Doesn't seem like it from Misha, though. Oh well, we can continue. It's all I wanted, really. After she says this, though, Shizune begins to sign something else, then stops herself out and shakes her head at Misha, to prevent her from translating. Normally I think this is strange enough, but the awkwardly casual way Shizune gives before walking off with Misha in tow adds to my confusion. Shizune is hardly the kind of person to pull a punch or communicate without forethought. I shrug my shoulders at the duo's odd behavior and look toward Hanako's desk, but see that her chair is empty. Oh no, she disappeared! She's a ghost. She was definitely here before, so I guess she just didn't feel like waiting. I'll go grab some food alone then. No, why don't you go eat with Lilly? Walking down the hallway to the unused room that's become a second home to the 3 students in particular, I mournfully look down at the plastic wrapped salad roll and juice box in my hand. The cafeteria's food is really unappetizing. Maybe I consider this my penance for my recent indiscretions. Opening the door, I notice one less quiet figure than I'd expected. There's no Lily. No, there's only Lily, okay. It's strange. Despite having known Lily for months, I can't help thinking back to the very first time I opened this door and saw her silently sitting in the sunlight. Just as she did then, she slowly opens her eyes, unmoving as they are, and calmly addressed me. Good morning, Isao. How did she know it's me? Maybe because Hanako is not here today? It's afternoon, I think. Has Hanako been around? She skittered out of class without me even noticing. Ah, yeah, skitter is like, yeah, from how the name Skitty comes from. A sort of moving, with some sort of emphasis. Let's see. She imprinted on Isao. Now she can smell his blood. Well, before the hearing, now even the smell is increased. Wow, she really has some superpowers. Yeah, moving lightly and quickly or hurriedly. Again, I remember this is probably from where the name Skitty comes from, the Pokemon. Lily cradles her cheek thoughtfully as I take a seat, my bag taking its place against the closet leg of the table, and my unsatisfying meal neatly set out in front of me. She did appear for a time. She said she had to study for the upcoming exams and left the library. We find ourselves not entirely believing her words. Well, at least her intentions are in the right place. She's sweet, but she didn't go this far to let us have our space. I might talk to her about it sometime. Probably for the best. For a while we quietly eat our meals, Lily elegantly nibbling on her sandwiches, and sipping her tea as I eat what tastes like a garden sandwich in dry dough. A garden, maybe that because there's a lot of salad. The atmosphere feels slightly strained, neither of us knowing quite what to say to each other, now that our small talk has dried up. Eventually, we both finish our food, with no conversation forthcoming for quite some time. Eventually though, Lily's soft voice breaks the silence. A lot happened back there, didn't it? Again, silence. Yeah, because you need to answer. With both our minds on the same topic, though, I think I have my feelings on that sorted out. I know everything happened in kind of a hurry, but I don't regret anything that happened in Hokkaido. Not one thing. Isao. Slightly tense, Nothing, really nothing. Nothing at all. Like, not even you almost dying by a heart attack you didn't regret. Slightly tense, I take her hands in mine. Half to feel her, half to settle my own nerves. I stand by my words back there, Lily. I love you and I won't leave you. I only wish for you to think the same. She silently reflects for a long time, which feels like an eternity. Her reverie comes to an end as she takes one hand from mine, placing it over them as she leans her body forward and stands out of her chair. After a moment's hesitation, her face slightly pensive, her lips meet mine for a brief moment. Aww, my mind feels as it briefly stopped at that moment, barely registering Lily sitting back in her chair, and smiling back at me with ever so slightly reddened cheeks. Hearing that makes me very happy, so I would be glad to stay with you. Maybe it would be good to slow things down a bit, compared to before. We still have school after all, and our exams. She gives a mischievous giggle, which proves to be contagious. That might be a good idea indeed. Do you think you'll fare well in your exams? It's only one day until they arrive, as you say. I probably should have studied more, but I think I've got enough head to manage. Okay, head is like advantage. That said, I had to butt off Misha and Shizune. Butt off is probably sending away, right? Let's see. No, not right off the bat, butt off. Refuse to deal with someone or with something such as question, criticism, or request. Okay, makes sense. Here we are. She lets out an exasperated sigh, all but confirming it. I'm thankful for the atmosphere becoming a bit lighter. I think so. I've already been asked for help by 2 of my classmates, and there will be no doubt be more. Think of it as your first training in being a teacher, maybe? That's probably a good idea to think of it. On that note, how are you faring in your English studies? I remember it was far from your strongest subject, and the few sentences you memorized to speak to my mother aren't likely to help. Damn, right on the mark. You got me. If you don't mind, would you be able to possibly help in that regard? Please? Would my pleasure to help you, Isao, but in exchange? She lowers her eyebrow at me, her coquettish nature tentatively coming to the fore. Okay, we have 2 words. Coming to the fore probably is abbreviation to forward, but we'll see. First 4. Situation, yeah, place it on front. This makes sense. And then coquettish. Behaving in such a way as to suggest a playful, flirtatious attraction. Okay, interesting. Here. No problem at all. You'd probably be better off with some help in your studies, though. She beams a smile at me, one of girlish victory that nearly makes me blush. I get the feeling she's aware of how to use her face to twist my judgment, so I should probably be more on guard. Here and now, though, a study group seems like an expedient way for both of us to snore up our more lacking skill. Shut up. Shut up. What's shut up? Shut up. Support or keep something from falling by, placing something under or against it. Ah, okay, it's like, I suppose it's used to, like, as a because you stop your boats from going to the shore by stopping them with something below. Okay, I think that's the reason behind the name. Here, shut up, reinforce, buttress, okay. I don't know about the buttress though. Ah, okay, a structure of stone and brick. Or provide buttress. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, the reinforcement. The school bell rings out, reminding us that the time isn't going to stand still. Oh, lunchtime is over already. It sure is easy to lose track of time here. This room is so far from the other clubs and activities. Not much sound can reach us. That's probably most of the reason why. But the bell is reaching us. A place far from all the others, along with just one person whom she loves. As Lilly stands and collects her bag and cane, my thoughts are cast back to the time we spent in Hokkaido. Before I go, Akira and I are having a homecoming party in my room tomorrow. Will you be able to come? Yeah, definitely. And back again. My schedule is free. I should be able to make enough room in my study time to make it. Good to hear, Isao. For what it's worth, I'm glad you're back from Scotland. Once exams are over, we should have some time to ourselves. Holidays start soon after too. Wait, I forgot to mute the desktop. Wait. No, wait, no, I didn't. I didn't. Oh, okay, it's fine, it's fine. We can start the holiday with Tanabata. I don't know Japanese festivals. We probably just checked, but let's see again. The Star Festival. Celebrating the meeting of the deities Orihime and Hikoboshi. I don't know them though. The seventh night. Okay, well, still the Star Festival. She brings her head to her cheek and laughs slightly nervously, recalling the event as I silently thank myself for managing to remember. It seems odd to see her react in such a way, though it's not like I never saw her embarrassed before. I'd better be going. Farewell, Isao. Bye. Whether it's out of habit or just a stubborn desire for one small fragment of normality, I hold my end up in farewell just as I always do. At least I'm consciously aware that I'm doing it now. I think I'm beginning to see a bigger picture than I ever have before. Not only with Lilly, but also my life ahead. The chains of my past are finally breaking. Now to a room. We party together! Yeah! Walking up the now slightly more familiar corridor of the girls' dormitories, I can hear the faint sound of laughter coming from up ahead. It doesn't take long to identify the source of Lily's room, as Lily's room, though the deep timbre of the female voice unmistakably belongs not to her but her sister. I rap. Yo, the other rap. Okay, we meet the rap before. I noted it down what it means, but I forgot. So, okay, wait, rap is doing something quick. Okay, I remember. I don't need to check. I remember it's like doing something in quick succession. So like again knocking on the door. Let's see if I was right. Rap. Wait, I didn't note it. Weird. Oh well, we know it's fast. Well, almost. It strikes a hard surface with a series of rapid blows. I was right on the fast, but I forgot the knocking part. Sure. I will save this. Let's go. My hand barely retreating as the door swings open. Hi, Isao. Oh, hello, Lily. Hanako? Akira? I saw this scene before. Hanako looks up tentatively, her hands buried in her oversized pink nightgown. That's not the same scene, right? From her side, Lily turns sideways towards the direction of my voice and smiles. Yeah, they are lovely. It would be a flagrant lie to say I dislike the sight of her in those pajamas. I catch Akira giving me a sidelong look with a knowing grin, to which I reply with a sharp glare. She takes the hint, shrugs, and walks back to the low table in the center of the room. That's smart, they used the other picture without Akira. And now Akira joins them and we don't have the picture anymore. As I go to join her, Lily gives me a nod of greeting and starts pouring me a cup of tea. It's nice to see you again, Hanako. You've been getting around recently? No, you've been getting around recently. Oh, hi Fado, how it's going? We are here in the scene. We are not getting drunk again, I hope. We just started and Lily invited us to her room for a party! Because they are back here, I suppose. And we didn't miss really anything. We just told Misha and Shizune we are now in the relationship with Lily. I don't think we did anything else. We stopped a lot by checking English terms. Lily wears a look of concentration as the light brown liquid, carefully measured by her finger as always, flow from the teapot into the cup. Okay, this time at least they are drinking tea, not something alcoholic. It seems that Hanako has taken up helping one of the people in your class with the newspaper club. Naomi, I think? Hanako gives an affirmative nod. Even after spending about 2 months in the class, I still have trouble remembering the names of those students I rarely talk with. Yeah, because they are secondary characters. Who cares about them? It takes me a few mental contortions to connect the name with a face, but I eventually remember the girl that sits beside Hanako at the back of the class. Naomi Inho, a fairly average looking girl except for her bleached blonde hair. Given her upbeat and straightforward personality, Naomi may have seen an opening to poach Hanako for her club when she inquired about joining one. Wait, poach is some sort of stealing, right? So it's like a way to say kidnapped her. Let's see. Poach, illegally hunt or catch. Okay, almost. It's like illegally fishing a fish. Which makes sense in the context. They took Hanako in a kinda shady way. Not shady, but kinda unpleasant way. Or not normal way, yeah. Either way, it's nice to see Hanako broadening her horizons. When I first met her, the idea of joining a club with anyone but Lily would have seemed utterly laughable. That explains how busy you've been. Enjoying it? It's really interesting. As always, Hanako is far from being talkative. Some things never change, and it seems that Hanako's personality is one of them. She'll likely always be the one to shy away from being overly social. Warned by the sound of crockery. Crockery? Well, crockery sounds like a crunch sound, like it's a, how it's called, not the metonymy, metaphor, it's the, I don't remember the rhetoric figure. Wait, I'm curious. Not here. Alright, sound for name. Onomatopoeia, okay. It's an feels like an onomatopoeia, the crockery. Crockery, plates and glasses. Never mind then, I was wrong. Crockery against the table. I never heard of it. Felt like an onomatopoeia, because the plates don't do crock, they do tang ting. So then, I feel the name is kinda confusing. I do not agree with the English name, you know. As Lily gently places my drink in front of me, I thank her and take a long sip. Hanako and Lily are tending to their lawn, and Akira is quaffing a mug of strong smelling black coffee. Okay, quaffing is probably drinking with some energy or with a lot of strength, like this. Let's see. I can understand from the context, but let's see. What the fuck? In the Urban Dictionary something different. No. Okay, drink something heartily. Okay, I shouldn't check the Urban Dictionary. Okay. Don't check the Urban Dictionary for quaffling. I shouldn't even have said that. Oh well. Here. Because roguelikes, the quick key to drink potions is Q. Well, it depends, but makes a lot of sense with the Q. Also, helps reminding the keybinds by having a name like this. Did they create a... Would be fun if they created a word with a keybind. Exactly for the keybind. You're a lucky bastard, this how we know. He definitely is. They do croak if they break. Makes sense. I don't know if you should call something by how they break, though. Huh? I can't help grimacing at her teasing smile, still visible around the edges of the mug pressed to her lips. What do you mean, lucky bastard? Akira is also lucky. She has a trap boyfriend. Seeing my sister in her pyjama? There's a lot of men out there would like to be where you are. Count me in! Count me in! I've seen a lot more that of her, not that I'd admit it. Akira! Hey, I'm just teasing. She leans over to me as such as she can, whispering with a slight grin written on her face. Nanako, you perv! What's with her face? That's scary. Hey, it was her idea. We both look over to her, her face turned to the ground and her hands fidgeting in the lap of her nightgown. If it is how, I don't mind. Oh, this could be bad. I know Hanakos are together too innocent to bother reading too much into such a thing. But the expression Akira directs at me is positively storming. Akira, please. It seems Lilly can sense Akira's sudden change in aura. I can feel her horn! Even without seeing it for herself. Akira slowly looks away from me, like an attacked dog lashed by its owner in the nick of time. I breathe a sigh of relief. She can feel the aura! I can feel the horn! She's too powerful! Of course, she's Lilly. She refined every single of her senses. She can think more of appropriate time to try and change topics than around now. If you don't mind me asking, Akira, what do you do for a living? I never seen you out of that suit. Thinking about what you do with yourself after school is over, huh? I'm a lawyer. Objection! I get a reference. No, wait. For the most part, I work in the legal department of the Japanese branch of our family company. The most boring possible answer, I suppose. Law is a pretty dry topic to most people. Kinda. Oi, you're not supposed to agree. Lilly gives an amused giggle while holding her teacup and saucer. Oh, now I know what saucer. It's the thing below the teacup. It helps her connecting it to Final Fantasy VII with the gold saucer. Hanako quickly joining her. The splendid atmosphere between everyone is something I'd missed while Lilly and Akira were on their trip. While the dealings I had with Hanako didn't help, I just think not having Lilly around changed the mood. It's nice to be back. I missed you, Isao. And you too, Hanako. Same goes for the both of us. I'm guessing your classmates were happy to see you back. In a manner of speaking, yeah. Yeah, because she can see her classmates back. Now also because her classmates are usually on the blind spectrum. So yeah, that was kinda rude. Or funny, depends. Akira amused snort shows she's well aware of Lilly's attitude towards such figures of speech. I imagine she's have to be, given how long they've been together. Did you have fun in Scotland? For a moment I wonder why she's asking. It having been quite a while since they came back. Then I remember everything that happened. We've simply not had time to look back. What with exams and our Hokkaido trip. Ah, interesting use of the word what here. Which takes the meaning here of be it the exams or the Hokkaido trip instead of explaining the subject, the what. I find this interesting. I'm saving it. Okay. Lily's face goes distant for a moment, and the fact that Akira's first reaction is to look over to her sister doesn't escape me. Nonetheless, she quickly collects herself. It was nice. We hadn't met our family in such a long time. It was a wonderful reunion. It's weird they're having this discussion after our extra vacation. Because they had time to talk about it before, right? Maybe this scene was planned before, I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's right. Their house being beachside was the best part though. For the dismissive tone, I get the feeling Akira doesn't like their family as much as Lily does. You only like that because you finally had time to play around. Just cause I'm a better swimmer. Well, no shit, you're competing against a blind person. I don't take after the athletic side of the family, that's all. Well, you can take heart in the fact that you got the height genes at least. And the bust genes. That's not really the right kind of thing to say around others. Though Lily pretends to scold Akira, she does so with an unmistakable, slightly cheeky grin on her face. Damian jeans, liquid. Liquid what? Liquid snake. Liquid. I still don't get it. Let me guess, Metal Gear. I doubt Akira really minds that, judging from her nonchalant expression. While I don't either, Anoko is looking down and blushing furiously beside me. The sisters antic aside, their parents really do lead a bourgeois lifestyle. A burger lifestyle, you mean? What's a burger lifestyle? I suppose, yeah. Belonging to a characteristic of the middle class. Okay. It feels similar to boasting, so that's why I felt the meaning was something similar. It's pronounced bourgeoisie. Bourgeoisie. Okay, I get the bourgeois, but why the C at the end? It's ois. The English is weird. It's like a Q. Queue. It seems utterly divorced from the life that Lily and Akira have lived until now. I suppose practicality must have made the decision for them. To have come from such a wealthy and well-connected lineage only adds to the almost noble air Lily seems to have, though. It's a small wonder none of it seems to have rubbed off onto Akira. They really are as little alike as sibling could be. The only similarity seems to be their shared confidence, which can be both endearing and a headache at times. No, that's adorable. Most of the night continues much the same, with Tanako eventually leaving the Sato sisters and me to ourselves, as she heads back to her dorm room for a rest. For a while, only the barely audible sound from Lily's teacup and saucer can occasionally be heard as she slowly drinks. The silence is strained as Lily and I wait for the elephant in the room to be addressed. What, that we are in the relationship? So... Lily dutifully puts her cup down, giving her sister her undivided attention. With Lily and me on one side of the low table and Akira on the other, this almost feels like a judge passing down a verdict. I hear that you are going out now? I glance sideways at Lily. To confirm her as the source of Akira knowledge, she gives a gentle nod to Akira, which I mirror in affirmation. Deciding that this is the proper time and place to do so, and Akira being the closest figure to a parent Lily had for much of her life, I bow deeply with my hands on the floor, before me and my head very nearly the same. I bow deeply with my hands on the floor, before me and my head very nearly the same. Okay, doing the same. I was missing the verb. I take good care of your sister, Akira, I promise. See? He's a lovely young gentleman. She must have heard my voice coming from a lower position than usual. I slowly bring myself up, and my eyes tentatively looking to Akira from under my brow. To tell the truth, I very much doubt my suited judge will raise any objection. She's very definitely the type to make her disapproval with others well knowing. Something that lends her a measure of respect in my eyes. The old-fashioned kind, huh? Well, he's the kind of person I guessed you'd go for. I don't have a problem with it, and I wish you the best. Even if I didn't like that, I couldn't really do anything anyway. I offer a nod of appreciation to her as Lilly gives a small sigh of relief, likely more out of duty than any actual belief Akira might have had any problem with us being together. I do wonder. What with the face? Wait, this face is new. That's the Waldorf green. I don't have the PNG tuber. Oh well. I do wonder though, how's the rest of the family taking it? Particularly the part residing at Yamaku. Have you told her? Akira turned into a frog. That's what the frogs do in the expressions. Smile turned to grimaces as Akira grins downright evilly. Those closest know how to twist a knife best, after all. Putting up with it might be the best term of the situation. Don't you agree, Zhao? Wait. Why there's an apostrophe on it? With it? Ah, because, yeah, there are 3 quotes before. So there are normal quotes for the phrase, and another quote for a sentence. Okay. That was kinda weird. Yeah, that sounds about right. At least she's being reasonable about it. Good to hear. That girl can be a handful at the best of times. We sent a few messages back and forth during and just after the trip, and she was already busting my chops for seeing my boyfriend when we came back, after leaving Hidaki for so long. She really does care for the little guy. The little guy? That's how you refer to your boyfriend. I cast my mind back to Shizune's odd reaction after telling her about our relationship, but decided not to bring it up. It's no doubt simply born of their mutual antipathy, and Akira comment only backed that up. Well then, that's settled. Gotta get to work early tomorrow, so I'd better be off. For a moment I thought she would float away to victory. She rises from the table with a grunt, her hand on her knee, to push herself up. I just notice Akira's eye lingering on Lilly for a couple of seconds, before turning away, as she begins to take her leave. I'm sorry, my table is annoying here, because the simple touch can shake my monitor. I need to do something, because I can't really play with my mind, being careful of not touching the table too much. I cannot play like this, because you can see my webcam is shaking a little. This table is shit, honestly. It's not holding anywhere. I might want to find a way to fix the screen, maybe? I don't know, honestly. I need to move the screen to play Ring Fit Adventure then, after all. Maybe with... If I have the mouse... No, that's kinda... No, that's not the best. I can bring my keyboard down. No, never mind, it's fine. After she walks out of the door, she stops and looks up thoughtfully before turning to us one last time. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to tell you. Use protection! Thanks, Akira. I think they kinda needed to hear this. A screenshot it is. Spit. Use protection every time. I gag violently on the tip of my mouth. Contrary to my own, Lily's composure holds perfectly, as she seems entirely unfazed. I'm kind of impressed. We are. Don't worry. Oh! Oh! That's the best response. At the girl, see us! And with that, she turns and strides away, a hand held high as she disappears into the darkened hallway, closing the door behind her. The most reaction I can muster is flopping forwards on the table, completely drained of energy and truly exhausted by her. Lily's ability to hold her own against that suited evil is something I admire. She really is incredibly blunt. I don't think I'll ever be able to keep up with your sister energy. As I feel Lily's soft hand come to rest on my own, I roll my head to the side to see her gently smiling. For a long time, we simply sit beside each other silently. Given her unquestionably unusual height, she is pretty much exactly as tall as I am, probably a couple of centimeters higher if anything. Like this, she appears even taller. So the protagonist is short though, because she is like 170 centimeters, which is not the medium male height. Okay, maybe the protagonist is like a... No, I think even if... even in high school, usually... Yeah, in high school maybe it's... 170 is the medium height, so it's always still lower. But yeah, I think at that period should be at least 175, the medium height, right? Oh, that's right, I forgot. In Japan, the average height is a bit shorter than in the West. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Then this makes a big difference. I wonder why. Maybe it's simply the race. The feeling of her pale, soft hand against mine is a pleasant one, as if the sight of the thin silken pajamas she wears showing her curves and collarbone. Wait, maybe another reason, or more than social type, because now, like every freaking girl wants a taller man. That means, by Darwin logic, every generation will be taller than the previous one. Maybe Japanese people care less about appearance, and so the height isn't really that relevant. So Japanese girls care less about a tall male companion, and so overall the medium height of the future generation is not as tall as the others. I don't know, I think I'm overthinking, but I may be onto something. As is the sight of the silken pajama she wears, showing her curves and collarbone. You do get well though, even if you do say that. I guess, you know, you two are a lot more alike than I first thought when I met you. Then it's a good thing I quickly stopped you from going after her, isn't it? Yeah, she told us she had a boyfriend, right? Though she jokes about it, my assessment of my inability to keep up with Akira, either physically or mentally, was quite in earnest. Lily is low-paced and ladylike, almost motherly. Nature is perhaps the single thing that helped me most in my first weeks at Yamaku. Come to think of it, wait, since when were we using protection? Oh, as I give a curious look to my side, Lily's cheeks puff out as she huffs at me. Like you remembered, the packet is in the cupboard next to the sink. Wait, you mean for now? Like for really now? Now? So I'm not the only one of us that takes a pill. In hindsight, I feel rather thoughtless for not remembering at all and leaving it to Lily. Looking over to the cupboard she mentions, I notice again the knee-high piles of books around us that were here the other times I'd visited. For the most part, they lined up against the wall, to give a little more room around the table. Why don't you get a bookshelf for your books? It's odd to see books just piled around. Especially given that your room looks so neat and orderly otherwise. They are easier to find this way. I know exactly which pile each book is in. Well, you can do the same with the shelves. Yeah, good point, Isao. Wouldn't you still know that after putting each set on a different shelf? That might be, but... So, she's not immune to bouts of laziness after all. You have so many of them, it's kind of a shame we can't share our book sets, despite both of us reading so much. She gives a short giggle. Come to think of it, why do you order your books through Yuko? I imagine there'd be plenty of sites that you could order books in Braille from. Ah, that's Isao asking, never mind. Especially in English Braille. There are a lot of text-to-speech programs too. She turns her head slightly away from me, which strikes me as somewhat surprising. I'm not all good with computers. Well, no shit, she can see. Okay, there are ways to help it, but it can't be practical as it should be. I'm alright with typewriters and braillers, but that's about it. Her tone almost makes me chuckle. She's a prideful person, so admitting something like that must be difficult. So Lilly is the low-tech kind of person. Well, again, I wonder why she's blind. Given her old-fashioned personality, it's not really a stunning surprise. I wouldn't worry about it. A lot of people aren't really that good with them, so it's not that unusual. That's unusual. Lily the Luddite. I need to look for the word, I'm sorry. Is a person opposed to a new technology? Ah, okay. So, very strongly opposed. Well, I don't think she had a choice, really. Now she's even more depressed. It feels like I'm twisting the knife, rather than healing her wounds. With a bit of squirming, I shuffle my way closer to her, tentatively putting one hand around her waist to hug her. I'm still not really used to this kind of physical affection, but Lily seems to like it. Aww, they're kissing! Nothing to censor here. Lily smiles as she turns to face me, a kiss being the reward for giving it in to her. She draws me in, brushing my upper lip with hers, before pressing against both. This way, every one of my senses is filled with her. The barely perceptible scent of her hair, her taste as her tongue fleetingly touches mine. The tenderness of her lips, the image of her filling my mind, the total silence apart from her faint breath. We may have kissed before, but even if this is more of a kiss of simple affection than anything, it's still a new and pleasant sensation. Bro, they were just told to use protection! How do you use protection here though? With a cloth in front of you. Oh, the smile. Judging from her vivid blush as she pulls back, it's obvious she feels the same I do. Even if we are entirely alone, it feels a little embarrassing to open up to each other this much. If we take everything day by day, I think that would be for the best. Small steps, right? Yeah, just small steps. We have plenty of time to be together, even after the school year is over. As long as we move together, I think everything will work out okay. Neither of us is going anywhere soon after all. For now, I'm just thankful for this small moment in time we can spend together. And it's the new day. I wonder how the story will continue from here. Because we are still starting the relationship. I don't know, honestly. She doesn't even have a trauma to fix. I don't know where the story should go forward. Go towards. I stand up moving in front of the door to the nurse's office for what feels like at least a dozen minutes or so. It's not like I never entered the small beige room before, nor is it because of any feeling of childlike anxiety over the visit. Maybe it's because the nurse office is akin to a confessional and a mission to my body is flawed. The knowledge that such a fact is kept entirely confidential between the nurse and me hardly lessens the feeling. Remembering the bell to signal the end of a lunch break will sound soon, I give a sigh and open the door. The burden will stay with me just this while longer. Well now, if it isn't Nakai, good to see you! It's a long time we don't see the nurse. I don't remember how I voiced him. Our bad, I guess, considering that I'm a nurse. He gives a small laugh, amused at this little joke. I find his humor lacking and somewhat off, but the fact that he can make light of such a situation is perhaps comforting, or at least distracting. His brief episode of entertainment over, he claps his hands together and gets down to business. I take a seat and he gestures for me to do so. I wish the classroom had seats this comfortable. I can feel my mind wandering as my eyes quickly scan the room, distracted by all the small changes since I last came. Alright, so what brings you here? I haven't seen you often, so I assume your health has been good so far? Well, mostly. I see. His smile drops as I trail off. I feel slightly guilty about it. It's those moments where I can't rationally call myself normal that make me so reluctant to see the nurse. They're an admission that I'm different from everyone else. Well, again, everyone is different, right? While I was on a trip during the long weekend, I had a few problems with my heart. He hums very seriously and nods as he does so, urging me to go on. It was as I was walking a fairly long distance. I think the right term for it was a heart flutter. I suddenly went weak at the knees and felt almost like I was having a small heart attack, but it passed in about half a minute. Even afterward though, I felt pretty fatigued and nauseous. Not good at all. That was how many days ago exactly? Did you do anything unusual aside from exerting yourself before the episode? Were you taking your medication properly? Well, he didn't take the medication properly before. The nurse switches from awkward jokester to serious health professional mode, rattling off questions, making notes, and calling up stuff on his computer. I tell him about my forgetting to take my pills that morning and the preceding evening. It was a stupid thing to do, but I can't change anything about it now, except answer honestly and bite the bullet. His seriousness evolved into a frown. Wait, his seriousness is evolving! Congratulations, your seriousness evolved into a frown. And the talk evolves into an instant checkup. What? Your talk is evolving! Your talk evolved into a checkup. I'm sorry. I finish buttoning up my shirt and again get motioned to take a seat in front of the nurse. Is this the first heart problem you had since coming to Yamako? I've had short pains in my chest before, just a couple of times, but they were more discomfort than anything like this. He leans back in my... Talking about heart problems makes me feel self-conscious, like... I start feeling my heart beating, and that's weird. Because it's weird considering something is beating inside you if you think it very carefully. Right. He leans back in his chair, briefly resembling a white-coated poro as he moves over to the mysterious case of the heart flutter. Moving his lips from side to side to show his thinking, like this, his non-existent mustache wiggling, he eventually comes to a conclusion. Well, you survived it. That's always on the plus side. Inspector Poirot by Agatha Christie. Yeah, I know it. It's actually somewhat reassuring. I don't think he would crack jokes if things were really serious. So I keep silent and take my lumps. Let's see. A compact mass of substance. Okay, maybe... meaning like the pills. Okay. Not really, it's swollen bruises. Oh. That's completely different. Take your lumps, endure pain. Ah, okay. Now I get it. I wonder the meaning though. Let's see. Okay, we save it for later. Okay, okay, thanks, because I was confused. I leave a talk with you, with your doctor, but right now I suspect it's simply due to physical exertion. Have you been keeping up with regular light exercise like I directed you so? I make sure to walk reasonable amount every day. It's usually enough to work up a bit of sweat, but then again, I'm not really as fit as I used to be. That should be enough then. The main thing to keep in mind is to do regular low stress exercise, not short bursts of sprinting and such. I understand. Since leaving the hospital I've been a lot more focused on my studies, partially to take my mind off not being able to do more physical things. It's good to hear you're coping well. Sudden lifestyle changes can be hard at the best of times, so I'm pleased to hear that you sound like you're having everything in order. Almost everything, that is. Nevertheless, I want to keep a close eye on you for a while, just for observation's sake. Just to make sure things aren't going downhill, you understand. That's something I really didn't want to hear. Since coming to Yamaku, all I wanted to do is live as normal life as possible. Observation was one of the words I came to hate most during my hospital stay. For so long I felt as if I could have just walked straight out of hospital doors, if not for that observation the doctors wanted so dearly. Sure, should I come in more often? He checks the calendar next to his computer, which seems to inflict him a nasty case of furrowed brow. He spins back towards me after that. The summer holidays are a bit of a pain, considering the timing. I'll check with your doctor to try and get a better handle of the situation. And see how he wants to proceed. But I think you should just take things slowly and carefully for now. What you're describing doesn't immediately sound like a recurring event, but it won't hurt to slow down a bit for a while, just to make sure. What should I do for today? He looks over my shoulder and a clock hanging over the door. I'd never have noticed if I hadn't followed his gaze. It's really time for school to be over, so you may as well just leave early. He gives me a sly wink, making sure that I understand he's doing me a favor. Oh well, nurse orders. Thanks. That's what I'm here for after all. I know you might not want to hear this, but you can't ignore your condition. Don't hesitate to see me if you have any further problems, or if you just have anything you'd want to ask. Bye! I don't think we're skipping exams, right? He spins around and gets back to typing on the computer in front of me. I suppose I just read before waiting for Lilly by the gate, considering I don't have much else to do. Even as I leave, his words echo in my mind. My condition isn't something as limiting as many of the others here in Yamaku, and I don't want to burden Lilly with thinking about it. If I just live life normally and avoid any short, sharp rocks, I should be okay. I won't let my condition rule me. Was this scene really important? Depends, because it would be important if the story evolves with the protagonist not updating Lilly on his troubles, which appears to be the case from what he said. We'll see. Lilly comes into view soon after the bells heralding the end of the school ring out. She says farewell to a number of her classmates, headed in the other directions, before beginning her weekly trip on the convenience store. Afternoon, Lilly. Oh, the immediate warm smile and relaxed demeanor she assumes upon noticing my presence are unexpectedly welcome. Hello, Isao. Good afternoon to you too. She hesitates for a second, but eventually deigns to tilt her face forwards and close her eyes. My lips met hers with a measure of slight trepidation before we move off. We move off, hand in hand. The fact that we are so close in height is somewhat useful at times. There being no need for either of us to turn our head upwards, nor downwards, in order to meet the others. That's why I say, and I never say, well, that's why people shouldn't ignore even tall girls, okay? It doesn't take much time to leave the noise of the other students far behind us. The tapping of Lilly's cane in her free hand, the only sound to be heard. Again, it's not using the verb, it's a weird writing way. I think it's normal, but it's weird. The tapping of Lily's cane in front of her hand, the only sound to be heard. There's no verb. Tall girl, softer hugs. Short girl, easier head pats. They all have their advantages. Yeah, there are pro sides on each side, you're right. I'm actually a hug person instead of head pats, so I got my preference. Silence, blissful silence, is all that greets us while we slowly walk in the setting sunlight. Headpats are lewd! Are hugs lewder or not? I think I'm coming to like this town. The huge green hilly expanse, the trees everywhere, the somewhat rustic little buildings. So you come to appreciate the tranquility of it as well? I think so. I came from a metropolitan city near Tokyo, so the quiet of this town really alienated me when I first arrived. Golden rays of glorious sunshine, streaking down with a blood-red light. Well, that's usually what happens in the evening, though I don't know if it's a reference or not. After a while it became really nice though. I think I prefer it to the hustle and bustle of my home city now. While I prefer the quiet of such a rural town, even when I first arrived, I suppose I had the advantage of growing up in a quiet area before I came. Hanako said the surroundings are very pretty too. Lily may say such a thing quite easily, but each time she mentions how others describe sights around her as beautiful or pretty, I feel a little put off. I notice her expression becoming one of anticipation for some question or another. She always had a good sense for when somebody's not saying something that's on their mind, so I might as well speak up. I was kind of wondering, how do you put this, do you even regret that you can see what things look like for yourself? It's just something I've been thinking about. She thinks carefully for a time. Do you even regret that you can't hear people whispering on the other side of a room? Well, good way to put it, Lily. Because even if it's something almost everyone has, the sight, she doesn't have it. But she learned how to live without it. So there's no use in getting jealous on what others have. I can only speak for myself, but the fact that I can't see is the only way I've experienced life. Just as I cannot do something you can do something that I'm capable of. The fact that the world is made for those who are sighted can be a pain sometimes, but there are many people who suffer much more than I because of the way the world is. That does make sense, but still, just feels kind of bad to describe something that you can't experience to you. She tilts her head quizzically, as if I just said something that makes very little sense at all. but I can experience it. You just said yourself that you like the area because of the way the surroundings are. I like the area for the same very reason. Thanks to the fact that this is a small rustic town, surrounded by trees. It gives some peace and quiet, away from the din at school and the bustle, not to mention the smell of the city. I suppose it would be much like the home she shared with Akira as well. Her outlook on it seems pretty sensible, and I'm not surprised that she's got a much better handle on her particular condition than I do on mine. Oh, there's a mute button? Wait, there's a mute button? First time I saw it. Oops. Actually helps, because when I want to have some sort of emphasis on what I say, I can do this. What did she say? For example. Okay, good to know, good to know. A little late, but we have it. Just like how we're coming from a location somewhat similar to Yamaku's surroundings let her become more acclimatized in a shorter time, being born blind affected her stance by her own admission. A record scratch. Phew. I may want a hotkey for the stream that stops the game music and plays a record stretch. That would sound so cool. I might want to consider it, and I don't think I will, but cool idea. I should stop being so annoyed with it. Jamie, decide which game you're playing, please, decide. I can shake the feeling that I've depended on Lilly far too much, given the circumstances most have had to deal with in Yamako. Circumstances most have had to deal with in Yamako, okay. Jamie, I said decide. That makes a lot of sense. You're pretty good at explaining, as always. Come to think of it, where is Hanako anyway? She was with us for lunch. It seems she's busy studying. The exams are far from over, and she said she wants to do better this year than the last. While I admire her work ethic, she's really been trying to give us a lot of room alone recently. She's the type of person, I think, the kind that puts others' needs above her own at every chance. She's a sweet girl, even though so much has hurt her in the past. I don't know, I feel like it's only now, when she's less close to me than ever, that she's truly finding herself. It was thanks to you that she began to become more confident after all, not me. I take my hand from hers and gently place it on my head. Wait. I take my hand. Okay. So he puts his own head, not hers. The important thing is that you were there for her. I can't imagine what she'd be like without having found someone like you. Not much became obvious while you were in Scotland. Head pets. Well, I don't think it was a head pet. Oh wait, on her hand! Never mind, I misread it. I read my head. So yeah, it's a head pet. Awesome. See, you can head pet even tall girls. So I don't see the problem, honestly. I don't see the downsides now. We're all still friends, so we just got to have faith in her. I think she'll become a good person, and that much is thanks to you being here for her when she most needed it, just as you were there for me. It makes me feel a bit childish when you sound so wise. Well, I try. Are you doing anything on the weekend, by any chance? A date? Maybe. Nothing that comes to mind. Why? Then how about a date on Sunday? It'd be something to do beside exams preparation. Countering my rapidly beating heart, she simply smiles and nods. That would be lovely. Where do you like to go? Her face suddenly changes to one of disapproval. You can't do that, Isao. That's cheating. Yeah, you proposed the date. Do what? A gentleman should never ask a lady where to have a date. Ah, oh. Her smile quickly comes back, assuring me that she's far from serious. Don't worry about it. I'll think about where we could go. I'd leave it to you then. I promise to decide on the next date though. With our plans to the weekend made, the rest of the walk down the hill continues in silence. The prospect of that lasting for any length of time, however, is shattered as I catch sight of a familiar figure waiting for us, her hand held high. For a moment I thought, well, last time we met Rin while we were at Lilly's, so maybe it's Rin again. Then I read it again, her hand held high. Maybe it's not Rin, so it's Amy probably. No, okay, I forgot about Akira. Yo! Akira, my bro. I want Akira as my bro. Thank you, please come again. The change in temperature as I step outside from the convenience store sends a chill up my spine. Feels like summer starting to wind down. Looking to my side, the same feeling seems to affect Lilly as well, though, unlike me, she doesn't manage to hide the fact. Something I didn't realize at first was how physically delicate she is, even compared to the likes of Hanako. If I had to describe her, I'd have to say that she reminds me of a China doll. Akira walks up behind her and gives a couple of hard pats on her shoulder, much to Lily's consternation. For a moment she looks as envious of my status as only child, as I am of their close relationship. They talk between themselves for a few moments as I sort my bags. Their voice is too low for me to catch, but eventually they break off and we begin the walk back to the school. Oh, it feels good to be out of that damned office. You kids don't know how good you have it here. Kids. You too then. Kids grow up so fast nowadays. You're not old enough to say that. I don't know. Being around Hideaki makes me feel damned old. He's so precious. He reminds me of you when you were younger. He's a nice boy. It would be a shame if Shizune comes to have too much of an influence on him. Akira gives an amused snort as her sister's antipathy. She really doesn't seem to regard it as anything to make a serious fuss about, treating it more like a childhood spat. She looks over to me, apparently only just remembering that I'm here, and gives a small grin as she reaches towards her back pocket. What is it? Just a sec, let me dig it out. After quite some difficulty, she manages to retrieve her black leather wallet from her black pocket, quickly fishing out what looks to be a folded square on paper. With Lilly all but unaware of what's happening, Akira unfolds the scrap and hands it to me. Oh, it's them! Wait, is that Akira? Is that Akira? Oh, also Shizune is so lively here. Held photo of what looks to be a younger Lilly and Shizune opening. Wait, no, that can't be Akira, right? Akira is blonde. I forgot the hair color of Akira, even if she was right in front of me, right here. So who is she? Who is she? I don't think we know her. It's a family member, maybe. Looks to be a younger Lilly and Shizune operating a noodle stall with some other girl in the background. Ah, okay, that's a random person. Another stone, is this a school event from some year ago? She looks vaguely familiar, but I can't quite pinpoint why. Ah, so the girl in the background could be someone we know. I don't know. Familiar, huh? Maybe a Misha relative? I don't know. If I have to find a similitude, it's with Misha. Would make sense because Misha is always with Shizune. Maybe she is Misha before changing her color. I don't know. I don't think so though. I don't know. What is it, Akira? I think you know. Lilly mulls this over for a few moments before realization dawns on her. Akira, you really needn't. It's fine, right? Besides, it's like the only photo I have of you two, since you entered Yamaku where you're not at each other's throat. I look back down at the photo in my head. In my head! Convenient! It does seem strange to see Lilly and Shizune working together so diligently, without any sign of animosity. If the photo is of them during Yamaku Festival, that means it must have been taken 1 or 2 years ago. In other words, the time when they were both in the student council together. Who's the girl in the back? She looks kind of familiar. Oh, I knew you wouldn't recognize her. It's Misha before she went and dyed her hair pink. Yeah, I knew it! Though, it doesn't really feel like Misha. But if you remove the hair... I don't know, it's hard to tell, really. That Misha, no way. It feels extremely strange to see Misha without her very distinctive hairstyle. Judging from Akira's tone, she doesn't take favorably to Misha's idea of fashion. I suppose that fact just accentuated how odd the situation looks. To think they were so friendly in the past, I wish I could do something to mend the relationship. Maybe this is the turn the story is taking. You're being very quiet, Isao. It just feels kinda strange to see you all so friendly like this. Lilly moves to say something but stops herself. In the end, this isn't a matter for me. It's between Shizune and Lilly, and nobody else. Things change, unfortunately. Things can also change back. I hand the photo back to Akira, who sighs as she folds it up and slides it back into their wallet. A little memory, quietly hidden away to be pulled out again some time later. Yeah, that they do. Initially I think Akira's reaction to be simply in response to the situation between Lilly and Shizune. But she looks oddly glum compared to what I'd expect. Lilly's expression has clouded as well. All my memories remain. Again, I think you already wrote this sometime before. What's wrong? It's just that I will be going on Scotland fairly soon. Again? For a long moment, Akira looks surprised. It's an ill-fitting expression for her. After a glance at Lilly, she turns back at me as if she'd never done so. Yeah, in a couple of weeks I'll be leaving for Inverness to work at the company's headquarters. It's a pretty big jump in corporate position, and it's not a chance that's going to come again. So Akira is going to leave Japan, or what seems to be a permanent basis. I can't help feeling that my assumption that we could all happily while away our days, having fun in this isolated little world, is coming to an end. It's unsettling. Okay, that with a different tone. While away the days, isolated in this little world. I look at Lilly, mildly surprised that she hadn't told me such a thing, despite usually being so forthcoming. She continues to walk with her face fixed, pointed ahead. I can't read her expression, nor I can even guess what's on her mind, which is discomforting given how it's usually easy for me to do both. It reminds me of the time when we met at the Shanghai, just before what could be called our first date. At the time, all I could do was comfort her without knowing the cause, and now feels no different. As we finally reach the school dormitories once again, there's somewhat awkward silence. I don't think I'm the only one who feels it. See you tomorrow then, Lily. Bye, Akira. Good night, Isao. See ya! Yo, it's when you encounter her, okay. And with that, they walk to the female dormitories. Opening the door to the male dormitories, I stop and look back at them, just moments before their figures disappear behind the heavy wooden door. That was a strange moment when Akira said she was leaving. While that wasn't the first time when my thoughts regarding my new life have been called into question, it's perhaps the first time to do it quite so profoundly. I still don't know what to make of Akira's reaction, much less of Lily's. The night's chill reminds me to get back in my room before I catch something. My bags pulling down my arms with seemingly redoubled weight. If nothing else, I have a date with her set up for the weekend. I just need to stop overthinking stuff and get on with things as they are. The exams are still ongoing, after all, and with the trimesters end and the summer holiday beginning soon, there will be plenty to keep me busy for a while. As I give a yawn and retreat inside, my thoughts turn to what Lily will decide to set as the location of our weekend rendezvous. I think I pronounced it right. Rendezvous. Okay, we are only 1 hour and a half in, but I will consider stopping because first, well, I can list all the reasons. First, the date is starting, so the scene will probably be pretty long. I don't want to interrupt it midway. Second, I'm gonna start to make mistake with my mouth. It's getting dry, even if I'm drinking. Maybe it's the time to take a break even to rest my mouth. Third, I feel something on my stomach. Fourth, the low mood at the start of the stream increased, but sometimes I still stop considering about it. So it's fine. It's pronounced rendezvous. Rendezvous. Okay, I think I got it kinda right. Without the re. Rendezvous. Okay. Rendezvous. Vu. Okay, no, never mind. It's vu. Rendezvous. Nice to know. Let's see again. Rendezvous. Though it's a French word, so makes sense if it's not pronounced right. Okay, unfortunately, I would love to continue, but as I listed, it's better if we stop here today. So, when we stop, we should raid someone. Let's see. We could raid Spoony. It's a long time we don't raid Spoony. I will send Spoony since Spoony played the Invalidity raid. I can't wait for them to enjoy the new version, since they also really enjoyed Ria. Let's see if we have enough raid power. They're also playing Higurashi, which I never played. I might, I don't know. So, visual novel, from visual novel to visual novel, right? Thanks a lot for coming by. We will continue next. Can I ask, are you... it's fine if I anticipate it to the Saturday, because next Sunday I will be busy, and I would mean another skip of this game, and we are skipping too much, maybe. If you don't ask what I will ask on Discord, but I will see what I can do. There is no stream next Sunday, probably. I will see if this game will be anticipated or skipped. Thanks a lot for coming by again, and we'll see you whenever happens.